99% of kids get tricked by the forest. Will Little Red Riding Hood escape the wolf?
Once upon a time, in a small village near a deep green forest, there lived a sweet little girl. Everyone loved her, but her grandmother loved her the most. She had made the girl a beautiful red hooded cape, and from that day on, everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood. One morning, her mother said, "Your grandmother is feeling unwell. Take this basket of food to her, but remember, stay on the path and don't talk to strangers." Little Red Riding Hood promised and set off happily into the forest. As she walked, she admired the flowers and sang to herself. Soon, a sly wolf appeared from behind the trees. "Good morning, little girl," he said kindly. "Good morning," she replied. "Where are you going?" asked the wolf. "I'm going to my grandmother's house at the end of the forest," she said, forgetting her mother's warning. The wolf smiled and said, "Why not pick some flowers for your grandmother? She would love them." Thinking it was a good idea, Little Red Riding Hood stepped off the path to gather flowers. Meanwhile, the wolf ran straight to her grandmother's house. He knocked on the door, and when the grandmother opened it, he quickly went inside and hid her safely in a cupboard. Then he dressed himself in her clothes and lay in her bed. A little later, Little Red Riding Hood arrived and knocked on the door. "Come in," said the wolf in a soft voice. She walked inside and noticed something strange. "Grandmother, what big eyes you have!" "All the better to see you with." "What big ears you have!" "All the better to hear you with." "What big teeth you have!" "All the better to eat you with," the wolf growled, jumping out of bed. Little Red Riding Hood screamed, but just then a woodcutter passing by heard the noise. He rushed inside and scared the wolf away. He then rescued the grandmother from the cupboard. Little Red Riding Hood hugged her grandmother tightly. She had learned a very important lesson: to always listen to her mother and never talk to strangers. From that day on, she always stayed on the path and never forgot her promise. And they all lived safely and happily ever after.
And from that day on, she always stayed on the path, and they all lived happily ever after.